Let's get that mount moving while the getting is good. Someone could probably make good use of that plastic scrap over there. There are places up ahead far worse than this. This area is blazing hot. You'd better have something that'll keep you cool if you're going in. Growl it into a higher gear. Ooh-wee, that's biohazard. Spot that fixer-upper? Got to be something worthwhile in it. The best stories are about heroes. This is such a story. Go get on it and run fast as you can. You run like the wind. You must have been a little nervous when you first met the Jagni tribe. Says you're welcome back. Gripes about how everyone looks like they crawled from the underworld these days. Wishes they knew where their friend Trim is right now. There's no better fur dresser in the world. Complains that they're tired of looking like such. Complains Spurftop is a little too far, even though this woolly coat that requires furious daily care is in dire need of a trim, as you can see. If you see him, be sure to ask him to give you a makeover. Not that you need it, but you do need it. Says you'll be a better furball for it. Don't distract this beastie. It's working. You found Boulder Broke. Toxanol used this place to make big rocks into small ones. They just ground everything down. It's a fine way to ride. Those are the kind of things you need. That's Ranchu, an entire farm poisoned by toxinol rads. Don't stay. This is a radioactive zone. It's not healthy to go too far in without protection. Yeah, the future is in your hands, so take care of it. The yerp fields, where the echo of your actions resounds clearer than any other place you'll find, except for where that's not true. What a blow! Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it. There it is, the Tree of Life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. a representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. Find us a sunset to ride into. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. What do you think his are? He's the one that's called Out of Date, remember? Out of Date says there's a time for everything, and now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things.
Mayani.
If you continue to do good, good will follow you.
Tolowoya lo yalobatoloyo.
If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst, something he calls the Ark.
Ba lo yalo.
He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive.
Tikamapen.
Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees.
Koyetu korebo.
He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core.
Koibe o korfabe.
The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate.
Udeno ko nunyo fobo.
He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head.
Udeno ko nunyo fobo.
It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real.
Boyobut pai katawa.
He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground.
Boyobut pai katawa.
The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out.
Yalawa wat nawa.
The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end.
Put the water.
He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm.
Balu budulwa.
Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy.
Do wawu.
He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Goop in the southeast.
Koduvon ko kumvun kono.
Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Goop.
Mauketo tolu ayadre.
He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Goop and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porkypuff needs to be handled.
Kabobe farhi.
Out of Date says that Goop is worried now that the Southeast World Eater is stepping up its activity.
Koduvon poputowe.
He explains that Goop is working on a goo-gliding vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done.
Kozata ghetto.
Out of Date suggests that you should head southeast as fast as possible and see what you can do to help.
Ato wamawa.
He wonders what's on your mind.
Fabobe mok kofar.
He says you really need to go see Goop as...
Come Reaper.
He wonders what's on your mind.
Come Reaper.
So, says you covered the important. It's a ride, not a friend, right? Could this thing steer itself? This box once tailed a chugger-chugger. Now it's just off track. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. It's starting to add up. So much damage. That hurt 'em. You have a chance to change the future for good or bad. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. One down soon. You're low on health. This one seems to be in good spirits, despite... Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
That's a myriad tribe outpost. This beast can move. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Doesn't riding a beast like this feel good?
Yangu. Aje tawa. Aje motalanti.
Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was.
Vadiri.
He knows he's easy to remember. There's no one out there as cuckoo as him. He's one of a kind. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
The light shines on.
Better isn't the word I would use.
Right, not better. Best.
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. We're just the best.
Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf. Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf.
Oh.
But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. It's not that it won't keep your head above the surface, but it needs improving to carry you across the thick goo out by the Porky Puff. It's time for an adventure, for good or bad.